Welcome to the Rock the Stage Show. Each week, international media expert Rich Bontrager has in-depth and personal conversations with celebrities, top leaders, authors, speakers, and media professionals. Now, from the Rock the Stage studios, here's your host, The Trigger, Rich Bontrager.
Welcome to the Rock the Stage Show. Hey, it's The Trigger, Rich Bontrager, coming back at you on Sunday nights. Thanks for dropping in. And you are in for a great treat because tonight we're going to delve into a topic that I don't know much about, but it's impacting all of us. If you're in business, if you're a leader, e-commerce isn't just coming. It's already here, folks. If you didn't know that, newsflash, e-commerce is already here. Tonight at Rock the Stage Show, we're going to explore what happens when cutting edge technology, bold innovation, and smart strategies all collide together in a powerful way. My guest tonight is a visionary entrepreneur who's helped shape that evolution of online businesses and brand authority on a global scale. From decoding digital consumer behavior to predicting where the e-commerce is actually heading next. Tonight, our conversation is going to get you front row seat to how we buy, sell, and lead now online. So if you want to stay relevant, you got to stick around tonight. You're going to learn a lot here. Tonight, my guest is an IBM futurist, three-time Amazon best-selling author, and he loves to speak internationally about what makes businesses tick. And he helps small business owners. He loves small business owners. He wants them to develop strategies that will actually work. He's been in the AI space since before it was cool. Most of us are just getting into it now. Also, he is celebrated as one of the top 100 small business influencers in America. He is crowned the savviest in social media by Startup Nation. Please welcome John Lawson III coming on in to Rock the Stage Show. Welcome, John.
What's up? Wow, that's a good intro.
You like that?
Yeah. You got a voice for TV and radio.
Oh, it's great to have you here. And as I teased up, man, I know really nothing about this, so I am a student at your feet today. Let's just establish that right away, man.
No, you'll be surprised.
Really?
You'll be surprised because either you're buying or you're selling. We're always doing one or the other.
Or I'm dumping.
Or you're dumping, right? Exactly. Which requires us to sell it. For sure. So it's awesome. Awesome to be here. Thank you so much.
Now, I heard you say you're passionate about talking about tech to businesses, helping them understand the knowledge to make regular sense out of it. I love your approach because most people do talk over our heads and we all feel like dummies. What made you come up with that approach to make sure you brought it down to normal average dudes?
That's just what I do by default, right? I'm able to just take complex stuff and make it very palatable to the average person because I've always been a tech head, right? But, I just use street smarts. So I don't know. I guess the marriage of the two had been something that I did just genuinely. And one day somebody threw a mic in my hand and I was like, oh, okay, they got it too.
So you got thrown in the deep end really quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I started a business at my kitchen table. I was about to go bankrupt and I needed some extra cash. Somebody said, hey, you should start selling on eBay. And I was like, eBay? Really? So this is back in the early 2000s. And I started selling used goods on eBay. And one of the things that I ended up selling were bandanas, right? And I was selling bandanas during a time when rap music and hip hop was going worldwide.
Yeah.
And, so all of a sudden I had this worldwide audience buying our products and they would ask stupid questions. At least I felt they were stupid questions.
That would have been me, man.
It would have been, yeah, right. But it was mostly like, how do you fold a bandana like a rap artist?
Right.
And I'm like, everybody knows how to do that. But evidently not, especially when you went worldwide. So I started making I made a video
Mhm.
that showed people how to fold a bandana to get out of the constant. Every morning I'd wake up with, 50 to 100 questions from my buyers. And I started putting that video in as a link, and it ended up going, viral. And from that, people started asking, well, how do you use, you know, digital marketing to sell products? And all of a sudden, I was the digital marketing guy.
Now, you've been labeled also an IBM futurist. I told you backstage, I lived in Rochester, Minnesota. 30 years I lived there, the home of Big Blue at the time. Big Blue was everywhere. How did
Mm.
you get into that space? The whole IBM world.
They were looking for influencers in small business, and I happened to be the one for their e-commerce outreach.
Ah,
And so that's really how they found out. And then it became like they were introducing. I don't know if you remember, you know, our first real introduction to AI was Watson.
yes.
He was on Jeopardy, right? And he
Yes.
beat Ken Jennings. And so they were trying to roll out, Watson AI to small business owners, which for IBM small business is way bigger than most small business. But so they needed, people in different, disciplines, and I happened to be the one. So
Well,
I don't
again,
know.
I do remember the commercials.
Yes.
We didn't understand what Watson was. We had no concept watching it on TV during the football game.
Yeah, exactly. That was the big problem. They were really early
Yeah,
in this thing, and it wasn't until, 2022 with ChatGPT just kind of coming out of nowhere. Then
yeah.
all of a sudden AI's everywhere. But IBM Watson was the first one back in like 2015, something like that.
That takes me
Yeah.
back. We won't talk
Yeah.
about any of that stuff. Um, when I first saw your credit, when I was reading up on you, the savviest in social media, I thought it was the sexiest in social media. That's what I first thought I read.
There you go. That's what I need. That's what I need. I need that title.
So how
That's
did you get
funny.
that tag, being the savviest in social media by
Man,
Startup Nation, man?
so um, Startup Nation was having a contest, right? And it was one of those contests where it's like, get people to vote for you. So it's like you get your own link and you get people to vote. So when it came to me, I would go out to social media and I would give like tips of the day. I'd give 5 tips, and the fifth tip was go vote for me at this link. And I ended up winning. And that's
Shameless plug
really.
never hurts. Give a nice, good shameless plug, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, now that I think about it, it was pretty savvy because it was doing what we always say you should do. You bring value first
Mm.
before you do the ask. So I was giving them 4 great tips, and the fifth tip was like, "Hey, if you like this, please like this link and vote for me," and it won.
So you've been in this e-commerce space for at least 20 years.
Yes,
Did you think this was really going to be the next generation of what business was going to be like? Did you have any clue? Here we are now.
yes,
Really?
absolutely. It was so obvious to me. It's so weird to say this now, 25 years later, but at the time when I saw, I mean, like I said, I was doing the eBay thing. When I
Yeah.
saw it, I was like, man, why do we have to even do anything? We can buy whatever we want right here. It was so Star Trek to me,
That's what I
right?
was going to ask you. Star Trek or Jetsons?
Yeah, I was, yeah, a little bit of Jetson, but Star Trek, because you would order something, it would come out of the wall, you know, and so it would come in your inbox, your email, or your regular mail, right?
Yeah.
And so I just thought that was the future, but at the same time, I always used to tell people if we ever got to 50%, that would be the high watermark. So I never felt like it would be 100% online commerce. And we're at like 25, 28% right now.
It doesn't feel like it feels way higher than that.
It does peak in the Christmas season.
Yeah.
It does peak over 50%, thanks to Amazon though. Amazon gets the bulk of that.
And everywhere. It's such a beast now. My question is, they do rule so much. What about the small businesses? Do you deal with small businesses to help them achieve? But it seems like an unfair competition now.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, you do have to deal with Amazon. Here's the thing. Amazon is it's a double-edged sword
Yeah.
because if it wasn't for Amazon, I don't think people would trust the buying process the way that they do. So Amazon brought a lot of trust to online buying,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
And at the same time, it trains your customer. So I remember we were doing stuff and we would do some stuff with Amazon, some stuff on our own store. And Amazon's like 2 day shipping
Yeah.
would pull us along with it. So all of a sudden, everybody thought that their product should be at their door in 48 hours,
Right.
or everybody felt like they should have free returns.
Right.
So it's a double-edged sword. They're training your customer. At the same time, they're opening up the space so that you can do this kind of business worldwide. So
Well, but you bring up an interesting point because Amazon had that 2-day guarantee. I don't know
yep,
about you, but it's no longer 2-day, buddy.
no,
I'm not getting things at the same rate of speed. So they trained us. The expectations have come up. Now I feel this role reversal, like this is not working anymore. Is there a pain point that we're bumping into right now? And if so, why?
yeah. Well, here's the funny thing. All right, is because the last mile is the most. It's the hardest part to get right.
Yeah, they have special
So
people to hire now for that. They have people just for last mile
it's
drivers.
just for the last mile driver, exactly. But still, I'm still limited to the traffic on the streets. No matter how fast Amazon can turn things around in
Right.
their warehouse,
Mhm.
if the traffic's bad, I'm not going to get my product in time. Or if the volume is bad, where so many people are ordering. I don't know if you remember this, man. It was probably about I want to say about 7 years ago
Yep.
at Christmas time that the volume got so bad that Amazon missed most of their 2 day shipping. And a
Yeah.
lot of people did not receive, and that's what forced Amazon to go into package delivery. They used to have it with, UPS, and
Yeah.
they broke free of UPS, created their own because it got so important for them to get package delivery right. So, I mean, the volume we're talking about, I don't even know if they understood how much volume it was going to be.
So with that, how can small business compete with that? Because now the lag is there. We aren't getting as fast as we used to. Is there a jumping point now for small business to slide in there and grab that?
Oh, absolutely, because you've got all kind of services now that will deliver packages for you. I don't have to use Amazon to deliver package. We can use Uber. Uber has package delivery. Instacart is totally package delivery. So we've had a whole industry that's been built around nothing but pickup and delivery for packages. So whether that be food, right, which we see
Mhm.
often, but it's also regular things. I was going to an event and I bought these hard shoes, and it was like, black tie event and everything. And I had these hard shoes. Man, they were hurting my feet so bad. And I was like, man, I don't want to wear these shoes tonight. And a friend of mine said, you can order shoes from Instacart. I was like, no, I didn't know that. And I look and I'm at the hotel and I literally got me a pair of Jordans, because I wanted them to be nice shoes to go
Right?
with my suit. Yes. And I got a pair of Jordans delivered to me in my hotel room. It arrived like 15 minutes before my Uber, before I was getting ready to walk out that door. So, I mean, just we have the ability now to do all kinds of delivery. So, if you are a small business or a local mom and pop, don't think that there aren't options for you now. There are. You can do the same thing that the big boys are doing because there are a lot of services that are doing shopper delivery for small business now.
So, what are some of those other tips that we can give out to that small business? Because they're struggling, and of course, we're in a government shutdown right now. The economy is faltering. So, what can you do during these stressful times to still get the job done through e-commerce?
I just think in general, it's about customers, it's about understanding your customer what they need,
Hmm.
you know, and I, especially like you said, in this kind of environment that we're in today, I think everything has become so push button that personalized service suddenly again is novel. And if you can understand who your customer is and get some loyalty there, you can do a whole lot with those
So,
kind of customers.
let's mind that for a minute because know,
Mm,
like, and trust as public speakers,
yes.
as media personalities, know, like, and trust with the camera lens is so important. What can we say about know, like, and trust for entrepreneurs doing this e-commerce? How do you get that message out that I really care? You can trust me. I'm right here.
You know what? One of the things is, and I realize, and you know what, who does this great? It's Apple. And I know, everybody's like,
I love
well, we
my
can't.
Apple stuff,
You love
man.
why do you love Apple?
You know, I don't get hiccups. I've never got a virus. They're innovating all the time, but it's simple.
It's
Push,
simple.
play, go.
Yes. Yes. And then the other thing is when you open the package, you can hear the angels sing.
You do.
They've got it right, and that is something. If you're doing e-com, you got to understand that when the people open the package, that is the customer experience, 100%. And if I open that box and things are broken, you got to handle that immediately because that is the last impression that people will have about your business. Because I can't be in your face and I don't have the salespeople walking you through the store, all of that. So it's really about how I feel when the package arrives and when I open the box.
I can
That's the
remember
most
getting
important.
my dome iMac with the different colors. When I got that dome iMac and opened it up, it was like, it is Star Trek. This is the coolest freaking thing. And it was delivered to me on time. The experience was off the chart. Now,
It's experience.
it is all experience. So, was that cast down from Steve Jobs? Was he the one that set that tone of the experience, or was that marketing? How did they do that so right, so well for so long?
Yeah, Steve Jobs was really into this zen of packaging and boxes and the whole nine from
Yeah,
from beginning to end. He was always about that.
yeah,
It's like when you touch something, it has to feel like
yeah.
it was a top of the line tech product, and he was really good at that. And I think he opened up the box for a lot of us to understand. You know, it's not just the product, but it's also the package.
Well, I'm still waiting for the iPhone Star Trek communicator.
Me
I do
too.
like the flip action. I would love to have that. If they could, could you put a word in for us to help us out here, brother?
Can we get that back? Let me see. I'm going to
You
see.
talk about the experience.
The
That was
experience.
so cool, and I did feel like I'm Captain Kirk. It was as a huge Star Trek fan growing up. That was the coolest thing that I actually got that on my hand for a while,
I know,
and
man.
it is,
I
it
was
is
looking.
about the experience.
I was looking if I see if I still had this phone. I still had my old phone. It was just that first time you ever touched it, you was like,
Yeah.
wow, we're in the future, you know? And we're kind of like that now. We're so into the future with AI. Um, but the problem is it doesn't feel like the future because it's not packaged right yet. Nobody's
Oh,
packaged it yet. It's still in a terminal phase. It looks if I go to Chat GPT or any of these other AI tools, it feels like I'm on a green screen from like 1970s, you know. So that's weird. Nobody has figured out how to package it so it feels like the future yet. But whoever gets that is going to win the game. I think Apple's trying to
Yeah.
figure it out, you know,
Yeah.
but nobody's figured that out yet to make it that consumer friendly.
So with the growth of AI, and people are gobbling this up left and right. As a leader, global communicator, I'm already hearing from people the pushback of it's not human. It's missing a heart. It's missing something that pulled me in with storytelling and things like that. Do you think there's a tug of war between the AI growth and the humanity side of this?
You know, here's what I think. I think AI will get you 70% there. The
Okay.
other 30% is the human input. You know, when it comes to doing the grudge, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm the
The grunt
grinding,
work.
the grunt work. That's the word. You know, when it comes to doing the grunt work, let AI do that part,
Right.
right? And when it comes to the creativity and the humanism, that's the part we do, right? So I think there's this, I think there's what's missing a lot of times is everybody wants to throw everything to the AI. And I'm
Right.
like, no, let AI get you 70% there. And the human interaction, the human in the loop will bring it all the way there to 100%. So if you just think about whatever it is you're doing, if
Yeah.
AI could do 70% of that, and you just focus on the 30%, how much more productive you will be. And that's
So
where I think we are.
okay, so that's where we are. Where do you think we're going in the next 10 years? Where is the futurist? Come on, take me
No,
to the future. Where are we going?
I don't know where we're going. However, what I do feel is that AI is going to take over a lot of the grunt work that we used to do.
Hmm.
you know? And what does that leave us with? I'm not really sure. That 30%, what is that? And then what are we going to do with the other 70% of the time that we freed up? I don't know. But I do feel that AI is going to 10x our ability to do whatever it was that we did before, you know? So it's almost trying to figure out how the automobile was going to change transportation.
Right,
You couldn't totally get it,
right.
but now that we're living in it, you don't notice it, right? You don't care about how the carburetor works. I mean, all the things when I was a kid, they used to have whole classes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
right, you
Yes,
could you would either go the academic way or you'd learn how to fix cars, and you'd
yes,
be like, oh, I'm going to be able to fix cars because we're going to need cars. Now we don't care how cars work. Cars are disposable to us. It's
yes.
kind of crazy that we're here, but that's where we are.
So,
So, yeah.
no, no. So when you integrate the AI, some people are really big on the virtual skins and the virtual voices, and the brand is almost sliding into not really being them. Whereas I consult people to be the brand, show up as a brand, use the tools, but don't give it over.
Yes.
How far you think e-commerce is going to go? Are they going to be pushing the virtual skins? Have your own animated spokesperson? How far is e-commerce really going to go?
You know what? I don't. It's going to go as far as we let it go, and what I mean by that is, I already feel like. See, it's like the first time you saw Chat GPT,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, write a poem, and you'd read the poem, you'd be like, oh my god, that sounds so human. Now, if I do it, you'd be like, nah, that's Chat GPT.
Right.
See, yeah, but that's we as humans. We as humans, we get used to anything,
Yes.
right? So it's like we can identify. We thought you're going to be able to fool us, but it's like we can identify anything. So we just got this new Sora that came out, and everybody's like, that looks like a real video. Yes, it does right now. But a year from now, after watching that
Yes.
over and over, your brain's going to be able to tell the difference between real and fake. That's just the way the brain works. We get used to anything. So, having said that, I believe that it's all about humans and once we get the technology into the
Right.
world, then we'll figure out where the technology fits in the world.
So what what should entrepreneurs be looking at? The trends, the projections. What right now should we pay close to so we know we're on the right path? Because there's a lot of rabbit holes to go down right now.
I really think if you're going to do anything, learn how to talk to it. Learn how to talk to it so you can get out what you want from it. Because you figure it like this, AI has been trained on every human piece of content that has been created since we've been on this planet,
Right.
pretty much, right?
Right.
So it has all the knowledge of all the historical content that we've created already. It's in there.
Yep.
It's about how you get it out.
So asking
And
the
if
prompts and asking
it's,
another prompt and really mining it.
yeah, I really think it's more about talking to it.
Hmm.
I don't think it's so much about prompting as it is about having a conversation with it. The more I conversate with it, and I'm not talking about, I don't talk to it like, it's my best buddy because I think that's kind of dangerous,
Well, that's what I'm
right?
wondering. How far do we go with that?
I don't think you want to go too far because it's an alien life form. That's what people don't get. It's like this is why we don't know exactly what it'll do. It surprises the developers every day. It's like, oh, we didn't know it could do that. How come it didn't know it could do? Because we never tried. So I was reading a article, and a friend of mine he's talking about how he uses AI versus how his child uses AI, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, he's a developer. He's been, doing computer stuff for years. So he's seen computers fail and he's seen them have hiccups and all that. But he's like, his kid has never seen that. So when he talks to AI, he talks as if, or to it as if, of course it can do that. Why can't it do that? Why can't it answer that question? Right?
Ooh.
Where you and we might be like, that's probably not going to work because it's a computer kind of vibe. It's a whole different paradigm, right? And
Yeah.
so what the kid gets out of it, he's like sitting there going like, oh my God, I didn't know it could ever do that. And the kid's like, of course it could do. It's a computer. It's AI. It's supposed to be able to do that. It's a whole different shift, man.
Wow.
So it's kind of crazy. But I think the more we just explore this alien life form, because it's different than us. It's not it has the ability to mimic us, but it has the ability to do a lot of things we don't even know it can do. So if you have that kind of conversation and that back and forth, you will be surprised what some of the output will be. And it'll be very unique to you and the AI together,
Well,
not
Now
just
we're getting the Terminator. Now we are getting into Star Trek. We're
we
getting
we are.
deep, and
We
we're
are.
right on the edge of
Bro.
that, aren't we?
Well, I mean, if you go to, Star Trek-ish, that it's very Borgish. So it's
Yes.
part human, part computer. And
So
that's the way I kind of look at it for me. Uh, it's like there's certain things like people are like, well, you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to write anymore because you're going to let AI write. I'm like, and what's your point? I remember when, and I'm going to give my age out here, but I remember when the calculator came in the classroom. Everybody was like, and you're never going to know how to do math because you got a calculator. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I don't need to know that. I got a calculator. That's where we're going, man. So it's like, it's okay. It's going to be okay if the kid can't give you change for your ice cream cone without the, cash register. It's okay as long as you get the right change. That's where we are, man.
So help us out because you're right. The younger generation is born with a cell phone in their hand. We're still hunting and pecking and find stuff. You and I, we're still hunting and pecking in the digital age, kind of. But they're so far ahead as CEOs, top level leaders, working with the younger generation. How do we? I'm not saying put a dog leash on it, but how do we control it at the rate that we can stay with it, and these kids don't just plow over us and take over our companies?
You know what? You're gonna have to give them, if you use the dog leash thing,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to give them enough leash to let it run wild, and then every once in a while you can bring it back in. You
How do you
know,
do that with
I,
grace, dignity, humanity? How do you do that without just knee jerking back?
Well, you know what? More than anything, it's our uh I think it's our human desire to not feel like we're being left behind.
Oh, I
But then
totally
I'm
agree.
like, yeah, but it's okay to be left behind. It's
Even if
okay.
you're the top little boss cutting the checks and it's your company with your
Absolutely.
name on the door.
Absolutely. Do you think here's the thing I'm telling people, man. Do you think Elon Musk knows how to build a rocket ship? Hell no. He doesn't. He knows how to hire the right people that are rocket scientists to build his vision. That's what we are supposed to be doing. If you are at the top of the pyramid,
Yeah,
your job is to make sure that the people that know what they're doing get the resources to do they need to do to make you the most money and make your business the best business. I think that is what makes a great leader.
so probably the best person to ever do that was Walt Disney. He got the Imagineers around. He envisioned it,
Yes,
sketched, drew, and then said, "Go build this." I will tell you
yes,
what color scheme, what this, but the Imagineers was really the first iteration of that. When you were at IBM, when you were, at eBay, were there Imagineers like that helping to lead the pace even when you were there? Or is this kind of a new concept for where we're at with business?
it's not a new concept. Like you just said, it was there even in Disney's time. It's always been there. That's why I say it's okay. But if you are the previous generation, you fear the fact that the next generation is coming, but they're gonna come no matter what.
Take us back to your eBay days. Because I've used eBay and I can't believe it's still around, but
I know.
what were the iterations? What were the behind the scenes that we may never understand that did help us future cast, move the line, even just at eBay alone, illustrate some of that for us?
Yeah, I think the thing for me with it was learning. It was the fact that I realized that the more I learned about search optimization, right?
Yeah.
So this was before it was like SEO, the term and all
Right.
that. I realized that the more I used the right words in my title, the
Mhm.
more people would actually see the offer, right? And once I figured that part out, I was like, okay, wait, if that's the case, then hey, if I showed my offer more, so most people would list one thing
Mhm.
one time, wait for it to sell, then list the next one, wait for it to sell, and then, so
Right.
I was like, I was launching 5 and 6 of the same thing over and over again in the same day. So not the exact same thing, but I would sell the same thing
Yeah.
over and over,
Like if
and
you're
I
doing comic
realized,
books, you're doing Batman comics and just a whole series of
right.
Batman comics. Yeah.
Yes. So I realized that if I could find a resource and sell it multiple times
Mhm.
versus trying to find one thing and sell it, you know, that I would make more money. That became the aha moment for me, man. So that's how I ended up selling bandanas because I found a supplier and I was like, wow, I can get as many of those as I can find. Great. I could make as many ads on eBay in a day, and the more ads I made, the more money I made. It was crazy.
Are those days gone?
Yes.
You got it in the bottom floor. You got it in the right
Not
side.
really. You know what? I think it's just shifted. So you got people on TikTok that are doing the same thing now,
Yes.
right? So so I think just some of the middleman has changed, but the process is still the same.
Now, currently there's a trend. Hashtags are dying. Other things that we've gotten used to using with SEO are begin to fade or less than we were using before. What are some of those things that we should watch out?
I think it's more about content at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about creating content, and which is kind of weird. If again, I kind of like talking to you because I don't feel like I got to explain everything. But if you go back to soap operas, we're back to soap operas. Now it's all about back in the day, you'd have the content to sell the soap,
Yes.
you know? So
Yes.
that's where we are now. You make the content to sell the products.
So this takes me to my insiders I have in the media TV world. They're saying, don't come in with a log line and a dream idea. Come in with an idea already pre-baked out. Tell us the
Yep,
show, the characters, the first 5 episodes, and they want it much more baked out, and then they'll take it on as a project. But coming in with a blank slate, it's not working in Hollywood
it's not what.
anymore.
Yeah, not
You have to be a
anymore.
full creator. Is that true
Yes,
in business and leadership now? We have to be a full
absolutely,
creator?
bro. Why do you think we got AI? That's how you would leverage AI. It
Right.
would be the rest of the team for me. I can be the visionary and let AI do the grunt work. Here, go write the script. Here, go create the characters. Here, come up with the scenarios. Here, write the staging, the blocking. It'll do all that crap, right? Not crap. I mean, just saying.
Right,
But
right. Now,
we
yeah,
used to have whole teams that
yeah.
would do that, and it can do it.
So, are leaders buying into this? What you and I are throwing out here, John? Are people following this right now? Do they understand how much media, word, print, business has all come together now in a powerful way? Are they on board or not?
Man, you look, you got about 18 months to lead the charge right now. So everything we're talking about right now,
Yeah,
18 months from now, will be table stakes.
really.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone, take a note of that. Benchmark that little clip here on the show. Come back
Yeah,
and listen
exactly.
to
Let's
this.
come back in 18 months and be like, damn, John, you're right. You will. And that's why you asked me at the beginning, did you see that we would be here? I'm like, yeah. And I'm telling you, I see this the
You
same
see
way
it.
I saw that.
Are we going to get into business holograms? Are we going to get into more interactive stuff? How far is this going to go? And thinking,
Well, you know what? Here's the cool part. We don't even know what it's going to be. That's that it really is. It's like I keep waiting for certain things to happen. Like you said, the communicator, we still don't have. We got this, but it ain't that communicator. You
no,
know, it's kind of weird how what we think the future is going to be versus what the future ends up being. It's totally different. So we don't even know exactly what it's going to look like. But
no.
I'm excited, and it's coming.
John Lawson, I'm going to bring in your website right now because I want people to know where to find you, like you, dive in. What are they going to find when they hit the QR code and jump over there?
They're gonna find exactly what you just saw right here. This crazy dude that be talking all this stuff. But no, man. I help small business owners try to sell and reach their target market. That's what I do. I use AI as a tool. It's not the compass of all things because I really believe that business is universal and it's been going on, for decades, millennial. It's the same thing. It's all based on human emotion. And if you spark the right emotion in the customer journey and you get the right message at the right time, that equals money.
I'm so glad you said that because I think the storytelling, the emotional is the big key.
Yep.
And I think so many struggle with that, being the communicator, the brand, the storyteller. And I tell people, if you don't have that skill, hire somebody to be the brand voice for you. Well, let me throw a couple fun ones at you. I mean, we've been having a blast. This is a great deep dive. I'm loving learning so much at the Master's Feet here today. But if your business, for you personally, if your journey in business was a movie, a science fiction movie, what would the title of your science fiction film movie be for your career?
I don't know. It'd be a Freddy Krueger movie, if anything. But that's a good question. I have never thought about that. But there's so many ups, downs, highs, lows. But then you always it's I think it would be something that would look more like a roller coaster, but it would have that straight line through it.
One final fun question for you, because we both are referencing movies and films and things like that. But I'm kind of curious, what's the one tech adventure or innovation that you wish was around right now?
There was this movie called Total Recall
Yep.
with okay, you remember that?
Yeah.
So in Total Recall, one scene, and I'll never forget this, was like at the airport, and all the people would walk past this X-ray machine,
Yep.
and you could see through whether they had a gun or not. I'm like, when is that coming? That would be, just think of how great that would be at the TSA.
My brother used to work for TSA. He would have loved that, man. He would have.
Yeah. That thing, I mean, it's just like, man, I so much time wasted at TSA. I want something that gets me through the TSA line. Make that.
So, John, as we run up here today, I'm kind of listening to you, learning from you. You know, if you had a mantra, I'm kind of thinking something like this for a mantra. Don't just watch the future, lead the future. Would that be a cool mantra to slap on you? Don't just watch the future, lead it.
Yeah, it would be. Absolutely. I like it.
It's yours, buddy. It's free. Just take it and run
I'm
with it.
taking it. Done. It'll be
John,
on my website tomorrow.
John Lawson, thank you for being on Rock the Stage. It's been a blast. Thank you for appearing here tonight with us.
Thank you. That was awesome, bro.
Rock the Stage show. We're always having a great show on Rock the Stage. Amazing guests from around the world, global influencers, leaders, speakers, actors. And the first time we got into e-commerce here. Wow. eBay all the way to now. Pay attention. Watch the signs. The future is now, not down the line. It's happening so fast now. As a business leader, influencers, part of your job now is to stay in touch with what's going on. Come back next week. We're going to do another guest, another great conversation. 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday nights. We always premiere another new episode of Rock the Stage Show. Have a great week. Until then, I'm the Trigger, Rich Bontrager. Come on back. We'll see you next weekend.